Hello and welcome to the Berkcast, the How to Train Your Dragon podcast. I'm your host, HC, and with me are...
Wolf.
And Ian, Winger be praised for the last time.
And
Winger be praised.
so like Ian just said, we are here to kind of close off an era because if you listened to the previous two episodes ago, because the video game episode is not up yet, so yeah, Dragons Rescue Riders came to an end, kind of sporadically and out of nowhere, but Rescue Riders is done. The final season is out. You can watch the entire show on Netflix and then move on to Hulu and Peacock because streaming services are something. And
You can say it, HC. You can say it. Trash.
yeah, that too. But anyway, yeah, considering for the last 3 years, this was the big thing out of the How to Train a Dragon franchise. Until Nine Realms came out, but Nine Realms is shit in itself. So we are going to bid our farewell to Rescue Riders for now, but let's talk about the future in a bit. For now, the series has concluded, so we said, you know what? Let's get around and actually talk about all of it now that we have all of it. Now that we know where everything ends, now that everything is held, let's talk about this one last time. So, Ian, you are the spin-off expert now. What does it feel? What does it feel? That's how you call yourself.
Well, yes,
so,
true.
so what are your thoughts about, like, now that Rescue Riders ended? Where do you stand regarding the whole experience?
I genuinely enjoyed it. I started off being like, it's a silly side series. It's good to just kind of turn off and just watch it, and that's still true. But I genuinely later down the line have liked it more than I thought I would. I've genuinely come to kind of like the characters and kind of enjoy the show. Probably also because the writers got more into it. But yeah, I'm kind of sad that it might be over now for our team.
I believe it is worth asking. Do you say you got into it more because Nine Realms wasn't as good as you hoped it would be, or
Ooh,
do you think Nine Realms had any effect on that at all?
ooh, that's a good
I'll just
question.
quickly
Actually, it
say,
might be.
I'll just say that in terms of my perspective, Nine Realms didn't really affect my thoughts on this show.
No, I don't know. I do think it's a good spin-off show, but also because they were very much like, yeah, this is separate from everything. Just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, and
And with Nine Realms, yeah,
that's exactly why I kind of can't say that Nine Realms really impacted anything here, because Rescue Riders was kind of clear off the bat. We are not connected to what you know. We are Wolf.
we'll get to it.
Now that the show ended, we can say, like, you could probably have your theories and headcanons that make sense, but as long as the show itself is concerned, there's no deep cut proof that it is.
Sorry, this alternate universe clearly has some sort of alternate
Yes,
hiccup and
but
toothless thing.
yeah, but for the sake of the argument, it has nothing to do with the franchise that we loved previously.
I'm gonna have to go back through.
Unlike Nine Realms, let me finish. Unlike Nine Realms, which starts with, we are connected to this, we are continuing it, and we are building up on mysteries that are related to this old franchise. Rescue Riders, for all intents and purposes, whatever you want to say, even if it is connected to an alternate universe that's very similar, even if we want to say it's canon, it still stands on its own, and it doesn't really force anything on the Hiccup and Toothless story. So
think
for that,
that
I judge it differently than I judge Nine Realms.
do you
That's
think
fair.
that this is just the alternate universe where they made the reasonable decision in the third film of just, this was another villain and we beat him, so let's just continue
I
this?
would say no. I would say no, and I'll tell you why too. Because as far as I remember, right when when the rescue riders before they were called that come to Hatzgalo, people are wary of them. They are wary of dragons. They
But they were in Race to the Edge too.
Yeah, well, but you're saying this with Race to the Edge, where the entire when the concept is still being introduced around the world and stuff. This is not coming off of if in the hidden world they decided to not split ways. This
Well,
is
No,
not the
but
same
this
thing.
other
this
than the
could be
tribe
like
of all Viking girls who raise dragons, sure.
oh yeah. Well, we don't speak about that part of Race to the
What?
Edge.
That was the best part.
I don't think so.
I
Anyway, that's a
forget her
different
name, but Leader
discussion.
Girl was cool. I liked her.
I like the
Mhm.
relationship they have with
Oh,
Dagger.
you're talking about the Wing Maidens for
Yes,
the
the Wing
record?
Maidens. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't that with the leader of that who had like kind
I
of
yeah.
forget
relations
her
with
name.
Dagger?
It's been so
Atali,
long. No,
Atali.
no, that was Mala, and who had the relationship
No,
with Dagger.
no. Mala is the leader of the Defenders of the Wing.
Yeah, Defenders of the Wing.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
No.
was talking
Okay.
about Wing Maidens. But yeah,
So that was why like two tribes already who
yeah.
actually. Yeah, but I mean that doesn't make sense in many ways in
Listen,
itself,
there can be
in my.
exceptions
But
to the rule.
that is a race
Honestly,
to the edge discussion, not a rescue leaders discussion. God
let's
damn it.
get to
Listen,
Rescue
you
Riders.
know what you came here for. We come here to talk
Yeah.
about Rescue
Chaos.
Riders. We get sidetracked for a while, and then we talk about Rescue Riders again, or try
Oh
to, and then
man.
it just derails more. You know what
I'm
you're here
just
for.
saying,
This show.
this is the alternate universe where they said let's just continue with dragons because otherwise it doesn't make sense that they have mentions to Hiccup and
you
Toothless
keep
and they wouldn't be in the hidden world.
you keep saying alternate universe. I have come up with many theories connecting this show to everything and how it all connects
Okay,
back and
you
how it
know
all
what?
works.
So you know what? Let's go with this.
Well,
Ian kind of said his
before,
piece. No,
well,
no,
hold
motherfucker,
on,
I'm
hold
putting
on.
you on the spot.
I know you
Ian
are,
said his
but give me
piece.
Oh
just a
boy.
second.
Yeah, I've
One,
said my positive stuff, right? So
I
now
you
we
know,
can get into the absolute batshit crazy stuff.
I mean, just I am glad we got this show right. I think we are personally. I would argue that we're better off having it than not having it. But that comes from my opinion of I would rather have some more of the thing I like and enjoy, even if it's different or even if it's not my favorite part of it, than have nothing and it's done and over with. Personally, I enjoy getting more of something. But
Yeah,
I do understand how some people are like they would have rather of the money that went to this show went to Nine Realms, so Nine Realms could be even better. I get that, I understand that, but I'm glad we got something different from it, right?
I mean, it keeps the
Yeah.
franchise alive.
Um,
It's not like they were done with How to Train Dragons, so
Mhm.
these dragons things just yeet.
I think
yeah.
if there's one criticism, well, actually two criticisms, but the first one is more important, that I would level at the show, I really would have wished or would have wanted for us to be able to come back and say, right, that this is the series, the How to Train Your Dragon animated series, the series version of the books, right? Like this is on that level. I would have loved to have been able, because again, like the books are written for more or less the same age audience that this show is targeted at, really. And
Well,
the books,
I
I mean, more or less, it kind of
mean,
grows up with that
true,
audience,
but
but
I
it is
guess
I
targeted
mean,
the
at that
first
I feel
few,
like
the first few books, then.
I don't know about even the first book,
I
considering
would argue
the
yes.
descriptions in it.
I would argue yes, but I would argue it grows up with that age group somewhat as well. As they grow
You would
up, the books grow up too.
you would not be able to do a one-on-one series for
Not a one,
even the
no,
first book.
no, not a one-on-one. But what I mean is I would have wanted this show to be like a comparable thing of, hey, this takes that target audience of young kids and says, hey, kids are really fucking smart. Let's give them a show that really kind of deep dives into the things, like something like The Outhouse or Gravity Falls, or I've not seen it, but I've heard good stuff about it. I see it. I've seen a little bit of it, but I could never personally get into it. Steven Universe, shows like that, give little kids a show like that, right? In the form of this.
For a younger audience.
And that's
like basically this is the series' version of the books, essentially. It's not the books 1-to-1, but it is their comparable thing. I would have loved to have been able to come back and say that. The second and final complaint I'll level at the series, although it's not really the series' fault, but this is more of a complaint about a specific person. Lin-Manuel Miranda, you never sang the Rescue Riders theme. You're still not cool.
And he never will.
Yeah,
and he never will
actually.
Because
yeah, it's very disappointing.
Anyway, my side.
Go ahead.
So sorry to be a broken record, but I've been kind of saying this since the start, and I think it kind of applies here. For what it is, and what it is, it's a preschool show with dragons. And so for what it is, it's perfectly fine, perfectly serviceable. And again, said it time and time again, we are clearly not the target audience, and I don't think the people who up with the movies and went to see them in theaters when they came out, and then followed throughout Race to the Edge when that was airing. These people, which are kind of us, we are not the target audience. This is aiming a completely new demographic, and it's like, and it does. So I guess you could say, then why make it How to Train Your Dragon? Like, why use the dragon's moniker? But it's like, you know what? I'm cool with considering a lot of franchises can eventually go to these kind of directions, but kind of try and be as canonical as possible. I appreciate that this is like, this is another part of the franchise that we take ideas from, we take elements from, we just do our own spin on things. And we want to have something fun for little kids to grow up with. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. I know I complained a lot about Winger throughout these series reviews, and I still don't like Winger. I probably never will. But there was not. But besides him in that one episode, and even then, my main criticism towards Winger is that he's bland, aside from that one episode where he's just a fucking asshole. But other than that, there's nothing here that's bad for kids. There's nothing here that's like insulting for them. If your kid likes this show, there's no damage being done to him watching it. There are other options out there, but if they want to have a fun little show with dragons, that's what Rescue Riders was, selling itself as, and that's exactly what Rescue Riders delivers. So good on you, Rescue Riders. You did your thing. You're your own little part in this big franchise, and for that, I'm glad that there are people who are able to enjoy it, and I even enjoyed a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, you actually kind of bring up it being part of the Dragons franchise, and if it even should be. It's a fair point.
Not necessarily if it should be or not, but I say that well, there could be a counterpoint of like, well, if it's its own thing, then why use the Dragon's moniker? But I say, and to an extent, I agree with this. Like, you don't have to use the Dragon's moniker in order to make a preschool show about dragons, but it does carry some of the themes, right? It carries that the theme of teamwork and the relationship between humans and dragons. It just doing its own take on it. That's also intended for preschool audiences, because I won't show preschoolers the first movie necessarily, not until they're like 6 years old or something, because main characters loses leg and everything. So this could be a good entry level thing if you have a small kid who's still not old enough to experience the movies for what they are. So
they kind of borrow the styles of dragons and everything. I think it's a good thing for the reason that it just doesn't it's another entry to the franchise so that it doesn't just go off and just doesn't have anything new. At least they did something new with it to kind of show, hey, look, we have this IP, we can do completely different things with this, like completely unrelated.
And on that note, kind of playing off what Wolf kind of asked earlier, Nine Realms never really affected my thoughts about Rescue Riders because, like I said, Rescue Riders does its own thing. It can stand on its own, while Nine Realms is built on the fact that it's connected to Hiccup and Toothless. And so for that, there are two different shows trying to do their own different things, but not. And one of them isn't over yet. But now that Rescue Riders is over, then you know what? I will say, not necessarily in terms of preferences, but Rescue Riders did its job better than the Nine Realms does its job.
Yep.
Cool, there's an agreement.
I
wow.
would love to say, I disagreed with you, but as of right now, unfortunately, I cannot say that. I hope in the future we can say that for Nine Realms, that it gets the attention and love it deserves from higher ups who can give it that, and give the talent that is there the chance to really shine. But unfortunately, we've not got that yet.
I should mention that at the time of this recording, there are season 4 of Nine Realms is scheduled to come out in a month since the time of this recording. So, the show is not over yet. I know I'm not editing the video. I'm just saying that, we are aware Nine Realms is still going on, and it will probably not end with season 4. So, but we're just saying that, as of now, though, now that one of the shows ended, then I can say Rescue Riders delivered what it promised. It may not have been the best of what it did, but it got the job done overall. And honestly, despite, not liking Winger and everything, and there are episodes that were a bit some seasons were weaker, some seasons stronger. The musical special is still the best part of the entire show. You can just watch that and be done. But overall, I would say, you know what? The show did its job. I remember initially saying it might be too early, it might be too this, but okay, I'm ending this on a positive note. It ended on a good note. That said, are we going to the stuff we don't really like now?
That we don't really like. Oh no.
Sure. I mean, I've already said one of mine. I do wish that the show could have, because I know the talent is there. I do wish they could have been given the resources and the money and the time that they needed to really make a show that could have been where we could have come back and said, that this is the books, but for the animated series, right? Wish we could have come back and said that. We unfortunately cannot, but that's not a dig at what we did get, because again, I still enjoyed what we did get. There are quite a few times where I will admit that I laughed, not because the show wanted me to laugh, but because what was going on and what was happening was just that dumb. But it's a kid's show, right? It's going to be a little bit dumb sometimes. It's going to have these moments.
It's very episodical, where it kind of felt like that they wanted to put in a story at some points, and then it just never went anywhere.
Yeah, if I have,
I mean,
you
can definitely say, like, there's those little, like in Hunt for the Golden Dragon, or in the final episode of season 4, I believe it was, for Heroes of season, 4,
that's
for Heroes of the Sky. You can definitely see there was these hints that they were giving, like, hey, there were links back to old Vikings who appreciated dragons or were bonded with dragons, blah blah blah.
The entirety of Volantis, the entire Volantis thing.
Yeah, Volantis, actually, yeah, true.
Yeah, and
literally brought up like once after that for a pretty much throwaway episode.
Mm. I would love to see, I would have loved to have seen what that could have been, but it just never went anywhere, and they never went anywhere with it.
Yeah, but
that's
there's a
kind
lot
of
of
the
these
other
little
thing.
plot points. It's really
Yeah,
annoying.
yeah. Looking, I will say that my biggest criticism with the show is that it doesn't really. It never decided if it wants to actually, like Wolf said, be like this a bit more, actually introduce story elements and continuous plot lines to preschool audiences, or just continue being its episodic self. And honestly, it's like I don't mind, I don't mind, those big shows having episode, just what people call filler episodes here and there. I don't mind that, but it seems like they never really decided if they want in what direction they want to go. Because if you look at the Netflix seasons, there is continuity there, like there because there's like the rescue riders are showing up to Huts galore, and not everyone is warmed up to them yet, but they earn a reputation. And at the start, Agra wasn't there, and she joins in the middle of season one. And then suddenly, in the end of season two, there's this entire thing about Chief Duggard officially adopting Duck and Layla, which goes nowhere. Like it's forgotten after that episode. If you like, honestly, the only reason I remember this is because it's baffling to me that they didn't do anything with it after. And then with Heroes on the Sky in the Sky, they have those crystals they introduce just to do like the one thing with them, and each season, and that goes nowhere. Volantis, the entire population of Vikings who got along with dragons, that goes nowhere. That little hints in the Golden Dragon special where they mentioned the main five dragons from the previous franchise, that goes nowhere. It's like they have those things there, and I'm not sure if it's like an executive decision or if it's a writer's decision or something. But it feels like there was no coherent vision regarding what actually they want to do with it. And then
They
you
name Berg by name in an episode. I believe they
I
did.
don't think so, but maybe.
Did
no
not?
No,
They must.
I think there's a reference to Belk, but not by name.
I
If
mean, there's one video on the Peacock Junior YouTube channel, which is Rifle Vikings Arrive in Berg, Dragons Rescue Riders. But I believe that is
well,
just a
that
mistake from
yeah,
the people that manage it.
I think that's just the poor advertising, and all I'm gonna say is
Well, Ian, you have a
one
reason to
peacock.
go back and watch the entire show, see if they actually mention Burke. Have fun.
No, I don't.
Actually,
Why?
something, that actually ever since Race to the entire Hiccup and Doodles franchise ended, I actually saw the entirety of the show, like Riders, Defenders, and Race to the Edge. I watched both of those shows from the beginning twice for different reasons. And in one of them, I just literally wanted to see if someone says tears near Tough Nut because of that one episode. And holy shit, they don't.
They say what?
There's an episode in season 5 of Race to the Edge where they say that if you say tears near Tough Nut, he just starts crying uncontrollably. And I remember thinking, I wonder if someone actually went back to each episode of the show and actually checked. So, considering I watched all of those shows as part of 2 marathons that I did for different reasons, I checked. They never say tears near Tough Nut until that episode. That's a level of inspiration that Nine Realms could aspire for, but we're not talking about Nine Realms.
God.
Unless you want to talk about the comment that should have destroyed the world but didn't, but somehow we're still not talking about that. But anyways.
You talked about it enough in the video game episode,
and we
then
need to
we
talk
also
about
have
it more. We need to talk about it more.
So wait until the 4th season, for Christ's sake. We're not talking about that now.
Praised.
Comet be praised.
Comet be praised.
He revealed the dragons and almost destroyed the world. We must worship it.
Behind the scenes fact, ladies and gentlemen,
destroy us.
I wanted to cue them into that freaking joke, but even then they don't listen to me. What a bunch of...
Listen, Listen, you can't.
Comet doesn't
You
stop for
can't
no
like.
one.
You can't predict the comet. The comet giveth, and the comet taketh away. It gaveth.
But what does it take?
We don't know yet. That's the problem.
It-
You have to
that's-
wait till it comes back again.
The comet may not take anything, but Wolf is taking away my insanity and throws it out the window.
I mean, if you're not used to this with all the theories I've come up with Rescue Riders at this point, you'll never be used to it.
Oh, wow.
Well,
I'm gonna have to go back and just find all of them and link them and just kind of give a short description.
yeah, you know what?
Because some of those were just insane, and I don't even remember
Like
them because they're just so on the
The one I
spot.
remember the most. The one I remember the most is that you still think, Magnus is Hiccup, but evil. If Hiccup actually killed people in the first
Oh,
movie.
he is 100% evil Hiccup.
That was it. Oh, so that's this alternate universe. That
No,
makes sense.
it's not alternate universe. It is, actual universe. This happened in universe. I mean, I don't think I ever said he was actually Hiccup. I just said he was like descendant of Hiccup.
Yeah, I
final
think
theory.
you said something like
Final
that.
theory,
Yeah.
right? This show is set after 9 Realms. The world became a
It's
post.
Nine
so
rounds.
wait the fuck again.
No, hold on. Hold
Okay.
on. Let me finish.
No, I'm not letting you finish because you're expecting me to believe that this Viking civilization happens after modern times. What is this shit, Horizon?
Right, listen.
Wolf, you're
Listen.
ridiculous. No, I'm not gonna
The
listen.
apocalypse happened
This
and
is
everyone
stupid.
got
Nope,
sent
nope,
back,
nope,
and
nope,
the
nope,
apocalypse
nope,
happened
nope,
and
nope,
like
nope,
technology's
nope, nope.
gone. That's why Volantis exists, right? People
You
learn to be
real-
friends with dragons.
you-
And the comet
realize you're
came
ripping
back
off
to take it
Horizon.
away.
You are ripping off Horizon, the PlayStation game. You
Yeah,
are
but that's
ripping
not
it
about
off.
Vikings. That's about indigenous people and
Yeah.
machines.
It's still the same plot.
Yeah, but except in this world, machines didn't
I
destroy
don't
the
care,
world.
Wolf.
A
I don't
comet
care. You're
destroyed the
ripping
world.
it off.
I mean, you can't say I'm ripping off Horizon because Horizon has ripped off everything that came before it that's post-apocalypse. So
No.
Yes,
No.
yes.
No. But, okay, this is an argument I'm not gonna win, so I'm not even gonna try.
I mean,
Anyway,
what am I ripping off at Horizon, right? Specifically, what have I said that's like, this is exactly like Horizon? That it's post-apocalypse? I introduced you to all the... Okay, then what?
No. It's the entire. It's there was a post-apocalypse that forced us to go back to the way things were.
There are
in
many
the
other
primal
things
age.
that have done that before. Many other things. First
If you
Horizon
say
wasn't the first, even though it has first in its name. Or Horizon, not
Whatever.
First Horizon, whatever. Anyway,
I don't care. Moving
listen,
on.
the idea is, the theory is, it's set after 9 Realms. The comet came back and it took it away. Because the comet giveth and the comet taketh away. This is why
Beautiful.
the scientists in 9 Realms shouldn't be exploring a damn fissure. They should be exploring the fact that a comet almost hit the Earth. And I'm pretty sure, maybe I'm wrong, scientists in the comments below correct me, but I'm pretty sure if a comet is able to affect like the tectonic movement of the Earth's plates and open up a fissure in the ground, that thing had to have come like so close and has to be quite large for that to be able to happen. Like,
Do you think it's as close as the Last Airbender comet? In Avatar: The Last Airbender, there was a comet.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
assume it had to be close, and it had to be quite
So-
large.
Guys, can we actually get back on the freaking topic, or are we?
This is Rescue Riders related. It's the timeline.
It is.
Oh,
It's all the
right, I
timeline. It's
agree.
all the canon timeline that
Really?
we're exploring right now.
Silly me for forgetting.
But see, I mean,
It does
again, if
explain
it's-
why everything is a island, actually.
it also explains, right, why they were able to invent scuba gear that's better than what they invented in Race to the Edge. We're not going to talk about that one. It's why Magnus is able to invent flying robots, because he has the knowledge. He's collected it from like past, ruins. It explains Volantis, because 9 Realms did get dragons to like integrate into modern society, and that's why the city sank, because the comet came back and took it away.
I just want to say, John Tallegen on the off chance you're listening to this, please just tell Wolf he's wrong. That's all I need.
Or
I'll
tell me I'm
forgive
right,
you.
because I would love because I will never let it die if he says, no, that's what we wanted. Even if you don't mean it. Just lie for me.
Let the people in 9 Realms watch Rescue Riders, and it'll be disproven.
No. Isn't John Telligan on that too? Or no?
I
know he's on 9 Realms. I think he's on this one too. I think.
Yeah, I believe so. At least I know that one of the trailers said from the makers of Race to the Edge.
Yes, it is written by. He writes on Rescue Riders. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So John Telligan, on the off chance you'll listen to this, please tell Wolf is wrong. Thank you.
Please tell me I'm right. Just
I
let
may
me have
forgive
it.
you. I already do forgive you for 9 Realms because I know that's not your fault. But like, I will forgive you more.
Tell me, right, that if 9 Realms isn't the prequel to Rescue Riders and Rescue Riders is a post-apocalypse world, tell me that would not make your day when it comes to Rescue, when it comes to not just Rescue Riders, but also 9 Realms. 9 Realms would be so much better.
No, one, it won't make it better because the plot itself is still not well paced at all. But you know something, if that will be proven true, if 9 Realms is actually a freaking prequel to Rescue Riders, then you know what? I will laugh. I will laugh my freaking ass.
I would love it. I would love it. I would just love it. Let me have it, please, so, John Telligan.
back to Rescue, back to finishing up Rescue Riders in general, though. One thing I want to kind of point out, because I have really like it, not really. What do you guys think about the series finale in general? Because I kind of like it because for a series finale, it actually does something interesting, which is Deck and Layla don't have the dragons, and they kind of need, and it's the connection between all of them that helps them win the day. I like that, but it also feels like it ends too randomly.
Oh, very much. I mean, that's just a way of being like, oh, we can continue this if we want, but it is a sort of ending if it is.
I mean, it feels very much like an episodic show, but it doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, feel like an ending for a final season of a show. It feels like, it feels like something like, hey, this is what we end this season on, and we'll be back next season. And it doesn't feel like a final season, right? Because as far as we know, we're not getting any more of, Rescue Riders. Like, nothing's been announced and nothing may be announced. So it just does not feel like, this is the final season for a show. Maybe this is how kids shows end in general, but I feel like I've seen like kids shows come out and say, hey, this is our final season. This is the final episode. Let's go out big. Let's do something really big.
Well, but are they on streaming services?
Good point. Because the only one I really know of is like Blue's Clues, and that wasn't on a streaming service.
Yeah, that was definitely
that's another
TV
thing
special.
That's another thing I want to ask you. Do you feel like there was any change in the show when, once it moved from Netflix to Peacock, once they got the Heroes of the Sky title? Because let me tell you, if people could argue that Race to the Edge can stand on its own for Riders or Defenders, I honestly think you can definitely watch the Heroes of the Sky stuff without the Netflix stuff, but it also feels like, what's even the point of changing? I get it. I get that they wanted to put that subtitle in because that way, it's a new streaming service, so we need a different. I get that,
yeah,
but it's also
they didn't want it to feel like it was just a thing from Netflix that they stole, or that Netflix said, you can have our discarded leftovers here, NBC.
But I don't think it was you can have our leftovers. I think it was very much haha, we don't have a contract with you anymore. See ya.
I'm gonna pose this question to both of you as well, but I'm gonna argue that Rescue Riders under Netflix, I feel like other than them getting better and really narrowing and really, getting their focus on point and just in general, like as they've done the show more and more, improving upon it, right? Here or there, just a little bit over time. I'm going to still argue that I liked Rescue Riders under Netflix more than under Peacock.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Not because Peacock is bad by any means, but because I felt like Rescue Riders had more of a focus under Netflix and they kind of knew more of what they wanted to do. When they got under Peacock, it was just like, make shit, we want it, throw it out there, done, thank
Yeah.
you, goodbye now.
Honestly,
Again, that's
same.
not
I think
saying like the
besides,
episodes under Heroes of the Sky were bad. I enjoyed quite a lot of them, but I don't know. I feel like the Netflix, when it was under Netflix, when Rescue Riders was under Netflix, I felt like it was more focused. I felt like they had more of a goal, more of a plan, something anyways that they wanted to do with stuff, and they went for that. Even if it was still episodic, right? They still had something going on there that I felt like, yeah, this is more focused. This has a plan. This has a lead in for stuff, at least to some small degree. Here's the Sky, just it doesn't have that. It feels a little bit all over the place at times. And again, that's not a bad thing necessarily. It's just I enjoyed the Netflix version more.
Fair enough.
And I think it does say something that we did get, the Songwing episode while it was still on Netflix. An episode that I think we all agree is probably the best Rescue Riders has to offer.
For the special, sure. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think my favorite thing overall is that episodic wise. I think it must be to copy that episode with "You've been gorshed."
Oh yeah.
I just love that episode so much.
I mean, that one's definitely a strong contender.
I will say that I agree with Wolf on that. I think overall Netflix did have a better direction for the show. Like a Peacock started with the crystals and then it kind of ended, with the final episode. It kind of had, okay, this is a good plot to end the show with, but it was like, okay, so what? Okay, I guess we're done. Bye.
We did get an origin story for Cutter and Burple, so
yeah, but
on Peacock.
But at the same time, if the show was still on Netflix, they could have just put it in there, right? It doesn't feel none of it feels like interchangeable in any way.
No, I just mostly mean that was more of a focus. I don't necessarily believe that. It was very weird how there was 2 seasons and then 3 shorts, and then 4 seasons on Peacock. I've found that very strange, but I feel like there wasn't like
really, if we're getting down to it, there's just 2 seasons on Peacock because there's 4 seasons of 6 episodes each, which if you combine that's 24 episodes. That's what Rescue Riders Season 1 and Season 2 got in total as well, and those were 14 episodes and 12 episodes respectively. So really, it was 2 seasons of 12 episodes. I still hate this, hey, let's release a season, and it's only half the episodes you expect of a season.
Totally, I agree with this too. I guess the point is Peacock sucks.
Apparently, Netflix got more episodes, even.
Yes, technically. It got more episodes by about 2, and then it got the 3 specials. So it was more episodes by about 5 episodes.
Yeah. I mean, that's still, almost a season more on Peacock.
Well, if we're going by Peacock's quote-unquote
If we're going by Peacock standards, yes. Is that true? 14 and 12 episodes. So that's 26 episodes versus 24 episodes. So 2 more episodes.
I do. I'll come back to it, but I'm gonna call out I'm gonna call out a website in the future. Not really call out, but we'll get there. I don't know. I'm a little, again, there's a lot of good stuff from the Peacock episodes. I just personally think, from my personal taste, I enjoyed the Netflix stuff more overall.
Oh, The Hidden World is on Netflix now. Anyway.
Yeah, well, it was for a good while.
Oh, really? Oh, it's only been released in Belgium then for now. It's number 2 in movies apparently today. Anyway,
I have a question for you guys. We've had quite a few of them at this point. Favorite villain?
oh.
I think I know which one Ian's gonna pick because it's probably about the same one I would pick too. But
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
let's just time it. Let's just time it to the same 3, 2, 1, go.
gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Sam Riegel does well.
Oh man, I love Gorsh. It's just such a personality. It's like, I just love Gorsh so much.
Yeah,
You've been
I
Gorsh.
enjoyed Svetlana and Eric the Wretched, right? But Gorsh stole the show, man. Not gonna
Absolutely.
lie, Gorsh stole the show.
I guess.
In
It's
one
not even a
episode,
meme.
he
I
stole the
love
show.
Gorsh. I love Gorsh. It's not even a joke. I'm not.
That's fair.
It's genuinely Gorsh. Otherwise,
I think, like, honestly, if I have to say anything regarding villains, I did like the Russian pirates that kind of threatened
Svetlana.
to Svetlana.
Yeah.
Kind of like them. I think Magnus was fine. Honestly, I could do without Axel, but
It's what was the mysterious guy who pretended to be, I completely forgot both of their names. The like pirate people, like the loner pirate people.
Oh,
The one who Wolf really likes.
I'm looking through and just making sure I remember it.
The one you really like? Freaking,
Morena.
What's her name? Morena, yes, but then the
Morena
she's not a
and
villain.
Aldondo, I believe.
Waldondo. Was it
Waldondo, that's it.
Waldondo?
Yes, Waldondo,
Yeah,
that's it.
Waldondo. Yeah, I in that case maybe Waldondo was pretty fun as well.
So I like them so much we forgot their names.
No, like
it's just really
they were
difficult.
fun. They were fun. So
yeah, very much. I mean,
Waldondo was definitely a villain, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's the best way you can describe Rescue Riders, right? It's fun.
Yeah,
Don't come
definitely.
into it expecting anything major. Don't come into it expecting it to be like the series, the animated How to Train Your Dragon series version of the books, right? Don't expect that. Don't expect it to link anything back to the main canon all that much. As much as I love doing so, and I think many others enjoy doing so, it doesn't, unfortunately for us. But just come into it expecting something fun, and I think you'll have fun with it. And I think that's the best way to look at Rescue Riders. It is fun. And I think
again,
if that's what they're trying to do, they achieved their goal.
Again, I'll say, there are far worse stuff to show your kids than this. Like, this is a good pick if you want to show your kids school or something that's fun. Not too hard on the brains, not too but not too insulting as well. It's all right. That being said, what would you guys want to see in case they decide to revisit the Rescue Riders universe in the future?
I mean, number one.
Besides
Besides what? What was I going to say?
Besides your big ass theory about how it's actually a sequel to
Actually, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say, number one, Lin-Manuel Miranda singing the theme song for Rescue Riders.
Absolutely, that's priority number one.
If that's gonna be official, then you know what? Yes, because that will already make a new reboot of this good. So yeah, let's go with that.
Number two, more Gorsh, more Sam Riegel.
Absolutely more Gorsh.
We just need
Gorsh.
more. I want more.
Oh man, so good. I love Gorsh. More Phalantis. More Phalantis. More plot about Phalantis.
I would like to see Rescue Riders. Yeah, I would absolutely adore seeing Rescue Riders get even if it's just 6 episodes, another season of like plot structured Rescue Riders where it's a continuation and it all goes in and has that very specific endpoint that they're trying to reach, right? I would love to see them attempt it, because again, I think the talent's there. They absolutely have it. So I would love to see them do it.
I would love it if there's
my
just one
question
special,
though,
everything
question, guys.
ties everything
Oh
together.
Lord, that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
something. Let's do the Troll Hunters thing, where there's like a movie that ends everything, and then it ends by rebooting everything. It works so well.
I mean,
Spoilers, but
they
also, oh god,
Nine
that
Realms
was
gave us the comment. They have their smoking gun right there. The
Yeah,
comment
basically.
is
One thing I want to ask though, would you guys, if let's say another Rescue Riders thing does happen, would you like them to keep the characters the same, or do you want to see them aged like in the original franchise?
Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I don't really see how a big time hop would have any advantage to them. Like maybe a small one of like 1 or 2 years or whatever, and it's just like mentioned or whatever. If it's like one of those series where they want to kind of grow up with the audience, then I guess. But otherwise, I don't really see a reason.
I would actually say that if they decide to do anything else with Rescue Riders, I would be up for like a time skip. I would like to see what Deck and Layla are like now that they are grown up. Like, because we know that, as kids, that Layla is the more calculated one, the more patient one, the more think before acting, and Deck is the wild card. What if when they grow up, it's some of it actually changes. Maybe Dak becomes a bit more careful when he does stuff, but he's still like a maybe hot tempered. Layla, if he decides to become more less reliant on the facts now that she knows that the world can actually hold surprises for her. I'm not sure how much I would do when it comes to age the dragons necessarily, just to make Belpo less annoying, please. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Imagine if it's like if it's like a 5 or 10 year time skip, and it's just the team has disbanded and they need to find each other again because they need to be on another mission. Oh man.
This time it's
how do you mean dark? They could just have their own like lives going on, and they could just be like, yeah, we'll see you later.
Yeah,
no, Rescue Riders, this time it's personal.
But that's the thing, something. Let's say you don't want to do a split up. How would you even do it with this? With this guy? Because
Aggro was already on her own, really.
she's
only joined for the last.
If you're asking how you do it dark, you come back with the special that ties everything in together, and it's like a couple years in the future. Gorsh killed Burple, and that's how the team disbanded.
Oh my god.
And so Rescue Riders, this time it's personal, and we're going after Gorsh. Or hey, we start off dark and like we come back together because we rescue Gorsh from himself before he truly goes down the dark path.
So basically, it will all revolve around Gorsh, and it's gonna be super dark. Gotcha. That's what you want.
Okay. Would you complain if it all revolved around Gorsh?
No,
I absolutely would not. Oh my god! Imagine if he'd be the main villain. I'd love that. I'd kill for that. Yes.
It's just him copying all the different dragons. He's truly learned how to, commit to his copy powers and make them truly amazing.
It's like dragons in cages, and he just makes them do their attacks, and then he just, oh man.
He's teamed up with Svetlana and Eric, and they're capturing all these dragons for him so he can copy them and always have, good abilities right at hand.
Man. Write this down. Write this down, guys.
This is a story.
You're
welcome, Rescue Riders.
DreamWorks, if you want to get back to this, just saying.
We're available.
Fanfiction writers, DreamWorks writers, that's on us. Go wild.
Come on, that's an incredible idea.
It's good.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. It's good indeed. So, anything else to wrap up with?
If they did do an age up, I had this thought and I thought it was hilarious. We need to. Someone would have to make, and you still could, I suppose, but someone would have to make that Spider-Man meme of the two old Spider-Mans pointing at one another, right?
Yeah.
Except it's Winger and Toothless.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely. Yes.
Because
That'd be
that
amazing.
would imply they are equal, and Toothless is much better.
Oh, I mean,
Winger be praised though.
Winger be praised though. Yeah.
Toothless, I believe in the one true alpha dragon, and that's Toothless. So both
Look,
of you are
Toothless
not
be
valid.
praised. It's just too long of a sentence. You
Also,
know? Winger be praised just
No, I don't
rolls
think-
off the tongue.
Toothless gave us Thunder. He's
That's
gone
true.
down a notch or two now. He had his kid is Thunder. His descendant is Thunder.
And Winger bet the lives of all of his friends and family to a bunch of idiots because he wanted to prove his ego. So you know what? That's worse in my opinion.
Oh, that's one episode. He learned from that.
And,
It's
and
fine.
one descendant, which he may have never met, is also just one thing for Toothless. I win, bitch.
I mean, Toothless also left Hiccup for a lady. So I mean,
Oh, let's not
I'm
start
just
this
saying.
because everyone with a freaking brain can tell Toothless didn't leave Hiccup for the Light Fury.
No, I'm just
this
saying.
if you think this, you got the movie wrong. Like, let's not get into this.
No. Oh no.
Fights in the
No, I'm
comments. Let's go. Winger and Toothless. Who's the better friend?
Oh man.
We
Oh
say
man.
Winger.
Oh no.
Winger be praised. Cult of Winger says Winger.
I mean, look, Dak and Winger, I mean, basically grew up with each other. I mean, that means they've at least known each other for like
And they can talk
what,
with one
a
another.
decade?
What the fuck can you
So-
do, Hiccup?
Yeah, you know that actually Hiccup and Hiccup actually has meaningful conversations with Toothless despite Toothless not being able to talk. You know, if anything, I found it more impressive.
I mean, fair enough, but
I mean,
still.
you know, all right, jokes aside, yeah.
Anyway, I guess before we go off and this becomes a bit more insane, anything else to wrap up with? To kind of close up the Rescue Riders book for now.
I know.
Yeah, no,
I
I
just-
mean it's other than
Oh God, this. We're starting again.
other than calling out the Wikipedia site, I just love how the first season of Rescue Riders, right? They go in depth on the show descriptions, and then it just gets less and less and less till
Yeah.
it's literally just one sentence, and that's it.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You get one
Yep.
sentence description, and that is it.
Which I'm pretty sure it's also like the one description you have in the Peacock episode list. Like,
Yep.
they have for each episode kind of like a description of what it's about.
I
Yeah,
love how
that's
whoever
literally it.
edited that's like, fuck it, it's Rescue Riders. No one cares.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
Wikipedia editor, I cared, so I'm calling you out.
Yeah, it's a bit sad. I mean, come on now.
And before the Wikipedia
But,
editor is Ian.
Gasp.
That is actually a pretty shocking twist, which could make sense. But anyway, I guess, like I said,
Rescue
fun-
Riders is fun, man. Just go in
a
expecting
fine
to have
enough
fun.
a fine enough spin-off that stands on its own, doesn't tarnish the original, and can be a good time for your kid.
Mhm.
And I secretly hope they make more.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Would love to see more.
We'll
Hopefully we
see.
get more.
So I guess that's it for this episode of the Berkcast. We hope you enjoyed. What are your final thoughts on Dragons Rescue Riders? You can tell us all about it in the comment section below, on our Twitter, which is Berkcast with a capital B, capital C, and on our Tumblr, which is Berkcast Team. Ian, where can people at home find you?
If you're Dutch, you can follow me at Angel26, and otherwise you can find How to Train Dragon Quotes on bathandbell.ch.
All right, so until next time, I was HC.
I was Wolf.
And I was Ian.
And
And
for
we
the
will see you
final
all
time,
next time. Fuck Winger in the ass. He's the worst character in the entire franchise. Fuck him.
Winger be praised.
Winger be dead.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Okay, Winger be forever.